All right. Good morning. Good morning. Thursday, is it? Holy crap. Last day of the month. This is the last day I can give Bubba Hogan shit for how he says July. Two O's in July. Okay. Got down there on July the 31st. So good to see you guys. Hop on, talk to me. Tell me how you doing today. Pop it in the chat. How you doing on a scale of 1 to 5? I'll get us fired up here on Instagram and all the interwebs. And you might notice that we've got a special guest today. Steve Rosenberg is with us. Good morning, Steve. How are you doing today? You just coming from the gym? What's going on?
I am just coming from the gym. I actually have to stop and give blood, so I'm in the hospital parking lot on my way home. But I got a question. What is the 1 to 5? So 1 to 5. So I've heard before. Let's say we say a scale of 1 to 10, right? But
yeah,
do we give them the parameters of what is a 1 and what is a 10? So, for example, if I said, where are you at the level of success? You've heard me say this in the 2-day, right? And I asked that question. And everyone's like, oh, I'm an 8, I'm a 9. I'm like, bullshit. Because that means you got 2 fucking gears to go and you're done. So that's stupid.
Yeah.
But if you gauge it and said, okay, level 10 is Alex Hormozi, Tony Robbins, they are calling you for advice on finances. That's when you're a 10.
Right.
When you're a 1, you're $5 million in debt and you're living in your car in your mom's driveway. So based on those 2 variables, where are you? And so, I think it's important. It's like, where are you at? So then they go, well, fuck, I'm not a 10, but I'm not a 1.
No.
You can, believe it or not, you could actually get people to sway based on the parameters you give them.
Yeah. So like, that's interesting.
If you would have said, if I would have said, hey, a 1, you could barely learn how to walk, and a 10 is you can walk without even thinking. You're like, oh, dude, I'm an 11.
Right.
So the parameters of where you are, I think, is important. Of like, okay, let's put some rules on this to see where you really are.
Yeah. One of the other things I've said too is that, figuratively, like, how can you not be a 10? You're on the right side of the grass. Like, everything else we can fix, right? So that's Absolutely. One way to look at it too. So if I see somebody pop on and I see a 3 or a 4, they're hearing from me. I'm like, well, we gotta figure that out. They're getting a phone call or going to check in with them after the call. But I always like to check in with people, see how they're doing. Good morning, Rachel. Good to see you. We got to get Rachel down to Mach 5. She's on here all the time. I know she wants to get in front of you, and I haven't met her yet, although she was, I think, part of the fight contractor fight community. So, but always on here, always contributing, always adding stuff, always asking questions. So, Rachel, what's it going to take to get you down to Houston? Pop it in the chat.
I'll tell you what, if and maybe we wait for people to start jumping on. If we start talking about who the speakers are, and who they're going to be rubbing elbows with and getting to hang out with, I think that's going to possibly change some perspectives of who wants to actually come. Because I do think, I'm not positive, but I think the VIP Elite is already sold out, which is freaking awesome. And so that is super cool. And I mean, it's funny, man. I have a lot of older coaching clients that are like, dude, what is this? What is this? Like, I'm seeing this everywhere. And like, knowing how you operate, Steve, this is probably going to be pretty good. But they're like, we haven't seen who the speakers are. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, because the ones who trust will be rewarded. If you trust me, you'll show up. If you don't trust me, then you can wait and you can pay more.
People have shelled out cash for tickets and they don't know, what level the speakers are, or whether we're just going to give them a 2-day dose of you and I.
And tuna sandwiches.
Wendy was funny this morning. I'm like, because I wake up, I'm like, rah, this is what we're doing today. I'm friggin' opening the shades and the blinds. And then you're sending me voice notes and I'm going, she's like, holy shit, you guys just got to back it down a bit.
Like 2 Tasmanian devils, man. That's what happens when you wake up at 3:45 for the gym, I guess, right?
Drinking coffee, listening to voice notes, typing and making custom GPT shit. So we got it going on over here, guys. But yeah, back to the speakers. First of all, guys, if you don't know, we have an event coming up, a conference, an intensive, whatever you want to call it, right? Where it was kind of born of me going to the 2-day event and looking around, and one of the last times I was there, I just kind of looked around. I'm like, well, what if we spun the room this way and put 200 or 300 people in it and had an event and gave people a place to come and build community and get around people that are like-minded. I always say, get in the right rooms and just create that right room. And once I mentioned it to Steve, boom, we engaged the team. It's off and running. Now I'm in fucking meetings 3 times a week, hating myself. I don't know what happened. What happened to
me and my big fucking mouth, man?
Yeah, I always joke. I'm like, I was just sitting around trying to figure out a way to complicate my life. So I said, hey, Steve, let's have an event. There's a shit ton of work. We got a whole team on this, the marketing team. But one of the things that both Steve and I have been, Wendy, I'm the keynote speaker, so you don't want to miss it. One of the things, speaking of speakers, that Steve and I have been charged with is locking down speakers. And so, Steve, I want to let you run with that for a minute and just let people know, because I don't know that we've really put it out there yet.
I don't think we have officially talked about who's coming, which we can hear. If I don't know if they want to put in the comments if you guys want to know who's speaking.
Yeah, anybody interested to hear who's coming?
Because if not, I don't have to tell you, because we're selling tickets either way, so I don't give a shit. But I'm happy to share. But I one thing I'll say, which I think is really cool, and I think it's a testament to me, to you, to Bubba, to Richard, Chris Ties jumping in. What is really cool is, I've got a pretty good reputation out there, I'll say, and a lot of friends and people. My buddy Tarl Yarber, who's doing an event, I got to drive to Dallas today because I'm speaking. It's called Limitless with Robert Kiyosaki and other people. He'll have 1,700 people there I'm speaking at. Everyone that I've said I'm doing this, they've 2 things have come out of the conversation, and this is personal that I think is really cool. Is first thing they said is, Steve, why are you doing this? What's the reason? Because everybody's asked me, like, what's the reason? And for those of you who don't know, when you run a conference, you don't make money. Conferences are not money makers. I said, man, I want to build a community. I said, I feel like there's no real community of people just giving back without having your hand in their pockets. Right. And I want to be the guy to give back. I want to do that. I've already made the money I need to make. I'm fine. I don't fucking need to do this. I'm good. But I do think a lot of people could use the community and use the camaraderie, because we see it at the 2-day events. We see when everybody gets together and it's so cool to go like, I'm not alone. I have people that I can talk to. This is right. What I mean, how many people have you and I heard when people say like, man, this is exactly what I need, talking to other like-minded people. So the first thing is they ask me, why am I doing this? And I'm like, look, I want to plant a flag and build a community. That's what I'm doing. And they said, that's the right answer. They said, because if you're doing this to make money, we're not interested in helping you. The second thing everyone has told me, and this has been a lot, and you've seen this, I've had so many people offering to help. Like, hey man, what do you want? How can I help you? If you want to pick my brain, you want me to come speak, what can I do? So that says a lot for me. It really, just, from a personal level, I've got a lot of friendships in a lot of industries. I always feel like I'm genuine. Our core values are part of being genuine. Having resiliency. Is that me calling you?
No, it's my daughter, but I'll call her back. I'll just text her. Go ahead.
So, look, that's part of who I am, right? Doing the right things for the right reasons, not for personal gain or financial gain. So the fact that so many people are rallying around me just to say, hey, Steve, how can we help you to help these other people? Really, it makes me feel good, right? It makes me feel like I'm not just someone out there trying to hustle and make money, because I'm not. So with that being said, I've reached out to friends that I know who are speakers or well-known people, and they have agreed to come and be a part of Mach 5 at a very high level. I can't see the things I'm on my phone. I don't know if people want to know or not. So
they do. Bill Gustafson says, who's speaking? And Rachel said, I'd be in the audience. Dustin Hippensteel just jumped on from Pensacola.
Dustin, what's up, brother?
Good to see you, brother. But yeah, lay it on him. Lay it on him. Who is speaking at this event?
So I pulled a favor. My very good friend, Lee Labrada, who has a nutrition line that does $100 million a year. He was a famous bodybuilder in the 80s and 90s. For those of you that know, if you're old like me, you know who Lee Labrada is.
1985, Mr. Universe, in the top 7 years in a row for Mr. Olympia, I believe.
Yeah,
Something
he
like
did
that.
7 Mr. Olympias. His son is a current contender in the Mr. Olympia. I think his son may come by also, actually. He is actually celebrating 30 years of Labrada Nutrition the same days that we are having Mach 5. He and I work out together every now and then, and I was like, dude, is there any way I could get you to come and be the opening speaker? And he's like, man, he goes, God, he goes, Steve, I would love to, but I got my 30-year anniversary. Everyone's coming in. This is a big deal. And I'm like, dude, I get it. And we're working out. And he's like, well, what would you want me to speak? And I said, dude, I go, if you could come and be the opening person about how to build a business and build a life around your business, because the reality is you can make all the money in the world, but if you die of a heart attack tomorrow, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And I said, I want people to understand that just building a business and not having the encompassing life. This guy's built $100 million company. And so he's like, all right, exactly. He's like, I'm inching him through it. He's like, exactly what do you want me to say? And I'm like, dude, I will give you the talking points. And then you just be Lee Labrada.
Yeah.
And so he is the opening speaker for Mach 5 to start
Interesting note, too. I'm going to jump in for a second. Almost been bankrupt twice.
Yes. Yeah.
So, guys,
COVID
it's not like we're just bringing in people that are just wildly successful with no challenges. You're going to hear from a guy that's now hit 100 million, and he's been to the brink a couple times. So worth listening to.
Just as early as COVID, he almost went bankrupt because he was saying, Steve, like when you don't go to the gym, you don't buy shakes. When you don't buy shakes, I can't sell my product. So it literally they stopped in their tracks, and we don't think about those things. And he's like, dude, he's like, I had to be that leader when my whole team was looking at me going, Lee, what are we going to be okay? And he's like, we're going to be fine. Yeah. And so he talks about adversity, and he's going to talk about that at Mach 5. So we're kicking it off like right out of the gate. Next one is someone who's a buddy of yours. And I told him, I don't know if you're going to like this or not, but Eric Fortenberry is the next speaker. And I told Eric, I'm sorry, bro, but you're going after Lee Labrada, so you better bring it. Because, I know Eric's a great guy. We had a great conversation with him yesterday. He's super pumped. I told him, hey, if you want to stay for the whole conference, you can. You can talk a little bit about Eric for people that don't know.
Yeah, you guys that are contractors or that need construction management software, you hear me talk about JobTread all the time. I was probably Eric and I and Steve were on the phone last night locking this down, and I kind of joked with Eric saying, I think I was customer like at least in the first 1 or 200, and they're at 7,000 now. And I've watched these guys build this software company. Eric's got a great story. He's a great speaker. And if you're a contractor and you're seeing this and you're struggling with the papers on the dashboard or all your shit in a shoebox, and you don't know what you're doing and you want to level up your construction management game, and get on the level that most other people are on, JobTread's going to be great. It's not a sales pitch. It's just let's listen to his story and talk about how a little bit of automation, a little bit of intention in your business can go a long way. So I just consider Eric a friend and somebody that I've supported in business and in personal development, and any chance he gets to champion me, he's done that. So that's meant a lot to me over the years. So I'm super excited to have him in the mix.
Yeah. So after that, we have a friend of mine. His name is Tony Flatham. He's from Minnesota. He has a roofing contracting business. Basically started from nothing. He's doing about 20 million a year in revenue, I believe. He's taken that and bought real estate with it. Still has his contracting company. Just a genuinely great guy that started from nothing, door knocking, just figuring out how to build a business. I've seen him doing a lot of stuff, and I was like, hey man, I need a solid. And he's like, dude, I'm there. I'd love to pour into these people. I am them. I know the struggles. I've lived it, and I'm not immune to it. So Tony Flatham's going to be talking. So day one is basically foundation and infrastructure. Yeah. So if you think about how do you build the foundation, you don't build a house. until you build the foundation. So we're building your foundation before we go vertical. Next is going to be, I believe, my best friend, Pete Newbig, and Errol Allen, who you guys have seen on some of my coaching calls. Errol Allen is the guy who actually systemized my business. And he is the guy who knows how to build systems, processes, procedures. He will be speaking at Ground School in about 3 weeks from now in Houston, for those of you that are in the coaching program. He and Pete are going to be doing a panel. So they're going to be talking and taking questions, because Pete is an expert at virtual assistants. So Errol is going to show how to systemize it. Pete is going to say, how do you systemize it with virtual assistants? So how do you make this thing scale at a much lower cost structure and much lower expense?
Jason's going to sit on that panel too, right?
Who is?
Cisneros is going to sit on that panel as well. Don't forget Jason.
Yeah.
Guys, it keeps coming. I mean, we're not even like, we're just building up.
Jason Cisneros is a guy who has exited, I think, over 100 businesses. It just, I met this guy. He came as a referral from someone, said, dude, you guys will get along. Jason is, he is a fireball, man. And his business is called Build to Exit. So he shows you that, listen, the reality is you're all going to exit your business one way or the other. It's either going to be through death or it's going to be through sale, but you will exit your business in life. So he's like, it doesn't matter how you're going to exit, but build it so that you can exit either to sell it or as a legacy. And that's what he's going to talk about. And Jason is actually, he told Daniela that he's actually coming for the full event. He wants to hang out all 4 days with us. Yeah. So that's kind of cool that he just wants to hang out and learn and be a part of it.
That's really cool, because a lot of guys just, they speak, they hop off stage, they take off and they're down the road. They don't immerse themselves in the community. So that's going to be huge.
Yeah. And what's really cool, I got to say, is as I was talking to Jason, and he does a lot of, he'll probably talk about it. He does, and I don't know the right term, but he does a lot of stuff when they go extract, children that are sex trafficked. I'm not sure the right term, but he goes and he's part of the teams that go and pull them out.
Wow.
And yeah, really, really amazing story. He was telling me some stuff and I was just like, wow. He's like, yeah, that's something that I am a big part of it. And I use my resources to do that. And he said, yeah. And we were having some conversations, and we started talking. He did some stuff with Tony Robbins. And he's like, yeah, Tony's a big part of that world, or has learned a lot about that, or something along those lines. And I said, man, my coach, who's my coach that coaches me, I go, he was with Tony Robbins. He was Tony Robbins' #1 closer. And he kind of tilted his head and he's like, what's his name? And I said, his name's Eli Wild. And he's like, dude, Eli is like my brother. And I said, no shit. And he's like, yeah. He's like, he goes, dude, Eli is an amazing human. I'm like, he is such a good guy. And I said, funny, Eli is coming to speak at Mach 5. And he's like, what? He's like, you got Eli to come speak? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I got to come. So one of the other speakers is Eli Wild. He is my coach that I invest in. He is going to be talking about belief and identity. He was the #1 closer for Tony Robbins. He closed $12.8 million in 1 hour for Tony. He is one of the most well-known speakers and closers out there that talks about identity and who you need to become. And so he is going to be there hanging out as well. So you guys are getting like very close to pinnacle level of people. Gosh, who else do we have?
We also got a builder panel. Don't forget our boys, Richard Nordheim, Bubba Hogan, Chris Ty. Okay, I think I'm going to moderate that one. So we're going to get on stage and shoot the shit about all things renovation and contracting and all the stuff that you go through. Chris has built a elevation construction right straight from using virtual assistants. So he's going to be able to talk a little bit about that. Richard is a 40-year contractor, a lot of experience from the Raleigh, North Carolina area. And Bubba, the Mid-South Pond dude, okay, who's always got something to add and has become a fixture in the pond and hardscape community. If you're in that world, you know who Bubba is. So We're going to get these guys on stage, and if you guys want to fire questions at them, we're going to talk for a bit. So there's literally something for everyone. Are we forgetting anybody?
Gosh, I'm sure we are. I know we have like a list of 14 or 15
Yeah,
speakers
we'll have some sponsors
total.
too. Sponsors, if they sponsor, they get a chance to speak. So you're going to hear from some other people. We talk about just getting in the right rooms, guys. That's really what we're trying to create here, is an opportunity for you to come for a couple of days and hang out and be around the right people. We didn't even talk about Wednesday night, elite VIP dinner, okay, and then social networking happy hour to kick things off. Steve and I will welcome everybody. Then just right straight into it. Thursday, at the end of the day, Thursday, we're going to do a happy hour with a casino night. Okay, we're going to bring in some tables and all that, clear stuff out, hang out, and it's going to go. All the proceeds are going to go to Steve's foundation for his late son Jet, the Live Like Jet Foundation. And you guys have heard me talking about that a lot lately. So, Steve, talk about that for a minute. Casino night and the foundation.
Yeah. Casino night is it'll be Thursday evening. We want everybody to be, create the friendships, create relationships. You only do that by you can only do so much two-dimensional online.
Right.
At some point, you've got to get out. You've got to meet people. This is when conversations, relationships happen. This is when everything kind of comes together. Obviously, the Live Like Jet Foundation is for my late son who passed away. So we will have some of the kids actually that are in the scholarship. I say kids, they're 19, 20 years old. They will be there. So you can actually meet the kids that get the scholarships that are in jobs right now. And again, right. I think it's like the cycle of life, right? It's all about giving back. I don't know. I'm depending on, if I don't get killed from the team, there's a school. Yeah, I know, man.
He's off the rails. We're getting some static here.
So there's a school in Houston called the Tulsa Welding School. And I guess from what I know in the welding, it's a pretty big school for national level welding.
Yeah.
The guy who's the president of the school, how do I say this correctly? He lost his son a day after Jet passed.
Wow.
So he and I have a connection, obviously.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot. I may get him to come and talk a little bit about, because they've seen, like, we've put kids through the school and they're just like, wow, like these kids are like, you guys are doing something that people don't do, meaning giving them the scholarship and helping out for these kids' future. So I may have him come talk at casino night a little bit, talking about the recipient side of the Live Like Jet, of them putting through schools for these kids that are, again, they're in the trade industry. If you have a hard time getting workers, we're trying to, again, we can't change the whole industry, but we can do it one person at a time. Right. And that's kind of why I'm doing this. Yeah,
it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. And guys, so Jet's what would have been 22nd birthday is on Saturday. So it's, I know Steve, I put you on the spot a lot on that stuff. So I appreciate you being able to just even talk about it. So much respect.
Yeah. Thanks.
And after that, so the next day, Friday, all in, more fire hose, right? More speakers coming at you. Steve's going to speak. I'm going to speak. We'll round things out. And then on Saturday, for the people that bought Elite VIP, we're going to take them shooting. Okay.
Taste of Texas, brother. We're taking them to some Texas shooting ranges.
Yeah. We're going to do something. We're still building that out, but it's going to be something that's exclusive to the people that bought the VIP Elite experience. And, just want to, honor that and pour into those guys and, try to create something this first year that, number one, that we want to do another year. Right. You ever see somebody come out and say, hey, first annual? Well, shit, how do you know it's going to be annual? You might hate yourself when this is over and go, I'm good. But we really want to create something that we feel great about doing every year. And so we're going to learn, there's some things that we don't know yet. We don't even know what we don't know, but we're putting our best foot forward and trying to put something together based on our own experiences at events. what we see that, hey, if I ever did this, this is what I would do. You guys have seen me do some things on a smaller scale here in Maine. Steve came up and spoke at that. And I learned a lot about that, and Wendy learned a lot. So we're both in the mix. The whole Rosenberg team is in the mix. We're having meetings behind the scenes that 9 or 10 people are in to make sure we got this stuff figured out.
And Bob, I think it's what I would tell people is, everybody has a reason why they're busy. But the thing is if you're always busy being busy, you have to change, right? And at some point, you've got to ask yourself, would going to a conference, whether it's this conference or whatever, will that get me closer to my goal or further away? Would going there and hearing all these people that have, been very, very successful in their own verticals, everyone there that is a speaker and everyone's been successful, right? Would going there help me or would it hurt me? Because if you just walk away with a book full of notes,
right,
and you go, okay, at least I have something to move forward, because, the information that they're going to get is great. Like some people say, like, oh, can I just watch it on video? Well, that's fucking stupid, because information without implementation means nothing. Like you could watch a YouTube video, right there, but that's not going to do it, because you couldn't watch a video on golfing and go, I'm a scratch golfer. You couldn't read a book on it. You have to go there and you have to experience that. And I'm just a big believer. It's like, you know what? When somebody says they can't do something, and look, you know me, man, I don't sugarcoat stuff.
I can be nice, or I can be honest.
I can't be both. And when somebody tells me like, oh, Steve, it's not a good time, I'm like, just say it's not a priority and it's not important to you right now.
Right.
Just tell me that. Don't bullshit and give me these reasons. Like, just say, Steve, you know what? Building my business and helping my team is just not a priority for me right now. I would rather stay busy every day doing stupid shit than building my business. Because as a business owner, these are the things that we have to do. When you go to get a degree, let's say you want to become a doctor, you've got to invest money in medical school to become a doctor.
Right.
Pilots, lawyers. And so my thing is how much have you actually set aside time and money to invest in yourself to get better? Because if you're still operating from a 2010, 2013, 2015 mentality in a 2025 environment, you're wondering why you don't have the life you want, because you're not growing with the society. You are still stuck in 2015. And I think that's the reason people fail.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I know things changed for me when I kind of bet on myself and said, I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to see what this is all about. And because, like I said, nothing changes if nothing changes. And I wanted to just say, well, I'm tired of doing it the way I'm doing it. So as I always say, if 2025 is starting to look a whole lot like 2024 did for you, and you don't like that, then let's make a change. Let's pivot. Okay. And come to this event, meet some people that can help you level up, expand your, not to date myself, but expand your Rolodex. Right. Yep. And start to broaden that network and get out. And it doesn't happen sitting home, guys. You can take in all the content you want, listen to all the podcasts you want, do all the stuff. But until you implement, until you bet on yourself, until you take action, it's going to stay the same. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to continue to beat you over the head with it between now and October 1st. But if you are, when you get interested in coming to the event, when you want to buy a ticket, the link is in this thread. I do this every day, and I still get messages from people. Hey, how do I get to Houston? I'm like, okay, send you the link.
It's called the fucking plane, first of all. But the other thing, Bob, the other thing, I think that I know that the team is doing an early bird special, but I think it's going to end in the next day or two. I saw a timer on there, so I know the marketing team is running everything, but
maybe today or tomorrow, because I looked at it a couple of days ago and it said 3 days and counting. So prices are going up, and hey guys, that's how we get people to take action, to move, right? And that's what we're doing. So oddly enough, I think people have seen it as a high value because they bought the Elite VIP, snapped those right up like hotcakes.
I think it was too cheap. All of a sudden, we sold all these high elites. I was like,
whoops.
Are we? Yeah. So, but
yeah,
it's cool, man. Listen, if people want to pay us, look, if people want to pay us more money because they did not take action and they delayed, they can pay us more money for the same conference. But I'm like, why would you, if you're thinking of going, why wouldn't you not do that? I'm sure,
Yeah.
you know, you will find a way to come for, if you can't get away from your business for 2 days, you need to get away from your business for 2 days. That's a sign that you've got a bigger problem.
Yeah. And people that say, well, I can't afford it, find a way. Take a look at what you're pissing away money on the monthly.
Just
figure
say
something
it's
out.
not a priority. Just tell me
tell
it's not important to you.
I could be honest or I can be nice. Can't be both.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Anything you want to leave these guys with before we wrap it up?
No, I just listen. I really hope I'd love to meet some of you people in person. I think there's a lot to be learned. I can learn from you guys as much as you can learn from me. I'm not an end all be all. I'm a brick in your journey. And if you're building your wall of life, look at the bricks that are around you. Because if you're not liking them, change your environment. And coming down, you know, I take it as a very, I take it seriously, all kidding aside, when people invest their hard-earned money and their time to come learn. And, you know, man, I pour myself into people because I care. And you will get that at Mach 5. You are going to get a lot of caring, a lot of relationships. And you will leave a different person. You will leave.
It's full on. Eat your Wheaties because we even last time I think you cracked me a little bit on the last one. I'm like, damn, it's like we got back to the hotel like 11 o'clock. I'm like, fucking guy don't stop.
Good. Hey, that everybody has a reason for living. Mine is giving. Mine is giving back. So I do.
Well, my cousin Matt Ferry is on here, and he does a great thing called Veterans Fishing down in North Carolina. So you guys check him out. He said, have a kick-ass Thursday, everyone. Rachel, thank you. Bubba, appreciate you being here. Just one of the 1,000 pellets, man. So, guys, I appreciate it. Steve, thank you. Looking forward to the future and what we're doing here. And today is my last day.
That's right.
One more tomorrow, but pretty much last day of the month. Last day of the one-on-one client journey, and now we go. All right, I'm going to go into the Rosenberg group, join you, lock arms, kick ass, take names, and see what we can do in the old go fast, go alone, go far, go together. So I appreciate the opportunity. Can't wait to see what the future holds, my friend.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a wild ride, man. A wild ride.
It already has been. All right, guys, have a kick ass day. Go do something nice for somebody. Keep your hands to yourself, right? Don't touch other people's things.
Don't touch other people's shit.
Right, exactly. We'll see you guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you, Steve.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.